Yo, what up everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian Saiyan bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 281. Wow, Luffy is a genius. I keep finding myself, like every time I want to call him an idiot, I keep finding myself having these moments where I go, Luffy is a genius. And the reason I'm saying it is Luffy understands. As long as Enel uses mantra like he did earlier, he's not really going to be able to get the upper hand on him, okay? And for that reason, Luffy uses the Gum Gum Space Out, and he just has his dirt face on, okay? And at first I'm going, what the hell? This is another goofy Luffy moment. I was kind of like Nami when I was reading this. I was just like, why? Why? Okay? And then Luffy started dodging attacks, and right away, you know, I got transported about, God, I would say it's 2016. I'd say about 9 years when I first read the Rock Lee versus, I would say about 9 years, the Rock Lee versus Kinemaro fight where Rock Lee was using, you know, he got drunk, so he's using the Drunken Fist, or, you know, Goku versus Jackie Chun where he learns the Drunken Fist and he's fighting that way. So that was cool to see that little bit right there where Luffy, you know, he's dodging attacks that way, and Nami said, oh shoot, we might be able to win now. And turns out that's not actually the case, because since Luffy isn't actually thinking and he's relying on instinct, which I'll get that in a second, but since he's relying on instinct, he can't really, you know, fight. And Luffy, the best way to put Luffy's fighting style, you know, for a long time I said Luffy kind of just charges in. And one of the things I've seen as I've watched him fight more and more is that Luffy is kind of like an ungraceful athlete, okay? Where instinct definitely has a huge part to play in how Luffy fights. But at the same time, what Luffy has is Luffy has this innate ability to always be in the right spot at the right time and act in the right way. And why I called him an ungraceful athlete is Luffy really reminds me of Rob Gronkowski, who I don't think is an idiot, but basically Gronk is this, you know, frat boy, party boy, huge tight end specimen, okay, as far as his body. But the way he falls to the ground, he falls in a very ungraceful way. But he should be hurt more than he does, and he just finds a way to avoid being injured most of the time, okay? And that's what I get out of Luffy, where it's just like he always figures something out at the last minute. And it's just like with the crocodile thing, where it's like, okay, blood can work because water can't go, but you can't do anything about my blood. It's the same thing. It's like something just happens where Luffy takes advantage of the moment, okay? And it kind of fits in his personality. Luffy's the type where he really lives in the moment. You know, he's a big picture guy, but he kind of just sets sail and goes wherever the wind takes him. That was the whole, you know, reason why they needed Nami, because he and Zoro were just going whichever direction the wind took them. They just happened to end up at the right place in order to catch Nami. Like it's the same thing. You know, like I know, like in the Nami case, like they did get led there, but you get what I'm saying. Like Luffy just lets life take him where it goes, and somehow it gets him onto the right track to where it helps him towards reaching his goal of being king of the pirates. So that part, that's cool. Like I said, it fits into Luffy's character. But for me, the savagery of Enel overshadows the whole fight that takes place in this chapter, where you have Luffy's grabbing onto the staff, and the flames are so hot, not the flames, but the heat is so hot from the lightning spear that he has, that it just reduces the rail of one of the ship to ashes, and everything is touching is just incinerating. So the heat is definitely on some next level stuff, and I'm seeing some very, very nice durability feats. And now I'm starting to understand how Luffy, I don't remember who Luffy fought in the 1 minute melee, but he fought somebody. I didn't understand how Luffy won that fight, but now I get it now. Now I think it was Naruto. Now I understand why he won the fight, because he's super durable. Super durable. Like, this makes sense now. Like, Rasengan couldn't go through that, and even if it could, the amount of with the way that it's circulating and everything, as far as rotation and the speed and with the chakra, the density, I don't think the friction that would create hitting Luffy's body, if Luffy can withstand what Enel's putting out right now, then he could easily tank a Rasengan. So that's nice to see that. So I'm starting to understand this. Like power scales, like I like the power scale, but I don't do a lot of power scaling on this channel, because if I do, I'm gonna go super in depth, and a simple power scaling video will be like 20 minutes, because I'm gonna be throwing numbers and everything. So I don't do that type of stuff. But there's just a small sample. I can understand it now. So another thing I thought was pretty damn interesting is how Enel, after he fires the bolt, that's when everybody's like, oh, the Kami, he's acting, get out of here. And it's like they were already evacuating, and the White Berets knew that Enel was going to be going down this route, so they understood it. But at the same time, you know, Enel had to act for them to fully get into gear and to put that full sense of dread. And he calls his master plan Death Pia, which is a very fitting thing, okay? Because he's basically using his own energy to create lightning clouds, and he's going to unleash multiple bolts of lightning on the island. That's how he's going to destroy it and thereby sink it. So very smart. I like that. That's cool. And it fits into the Logia type power, showing you how overpowered it is. And very fitting, because what we see in the very beginning of this chapter, not the cover page, but the SBS corner, you know, Oda provides a chart putting all of the different devil fruits in different categories, and I bookmarked that so I can go back to that. Like I dog-eared it so I can go back to it, and so when I do one of these in-depth videos, I can really have it in there. But I like how it just, you know, breaks down by category, and it just drastically shows the difference. Like you have the really common ones, and then you get to Logia types, and it's just like now you understand why there aren't that many of them. And so I like seeing that, and it's almost having this underdog type thing where it's just like you see it. You see that Luffy might not have the strongest devil fruit, but it's the way he uses it. He's that wild card. And that's going to be crazy if somebody on the very bottom ends up being king of the pirates. But it fits the shonen trope of, you know, main character starting at the bottom, nobody believes in him, works his way up to being top dog. I mean, that fits. That fits. You know, the only thing that's missing is for Luffy to be some type of half-breed. Because in shonen, if you got a half-breed, and he's part of this and part of that, he's going to be OP as hell. So that's the only thing that's missing. And I'm not even going to rule that out, because Luffy, we don't know anything about his parents. I thought maybe Shanks was his dad, and some of you guys shot that down really, really quickly. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes playing forward. Now, the reason why I thought Enel's plan was super interesting is because Enel is talking about ending civilization using his power. Definitely the power scale, because it just shows how much force he could actually generate through his body if he wanted to, and if he had full out killing intent. But the other thing that it shows is Enel is a very dangerous character, and we're not on the Grand Line technically, but Luffy is going to be encountering people like this going forward, and it's just like, now you need alliances. Like, he can't face people like this on his own. He needs more people in his corner. This is going to be really interesting to see how the character develops going forward. Because from what I'm seeing now, this is just a simple matchup thing to where Luffy happens to meet somebody who he has a natural chance to defeat. Nami said himself, he is the only one who could probably defeat him, okay? The only one. And what makes me a little worried is Luffy, he has to get stronger. Period. If he does not get stronger, he's going to get ate up on the Grand Line. Like we saw it a little bit with Crocodile, where he kind of got lucky. No, he figured out a weakness and he got the upper hand. The guy was Crocodile 3 times. You're not going to get 3 times to fight somebody. And he got lulled into a false sense of security. And with Enel, it's just a matchup thing. He's got to get stronger. And because Zoro's taking out this Sanji, Nami's been reduced to having to kind of, play the weakling role, okay? They have to get stronger. They have to get stronger. And that's me, my chapter question. At this point in the story, did you come to the conclusion that I did that Luffy and the others have to get more powerful if they're going to make it when they get back to the Grand Line? Because as they are now, they either need alliances or they need blind luck, or they're not going to make it. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. As always, thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.